Good afternoon, Saddlers fans, and welcome to our latest edition of Sponsors Focus. Today I'm joined by Dave Robinson, Director of B.A.T. B.A.T are one of our main sponsors, as most of you will be aware. Dave, a very warm welcome.
Adam,
good to see you. How
are
you doing?
Not bad, not bad. After all the snow we've just had, and get back to proper life now.
You've had a nice Christmas?
Yeah, very good, very good. Watched a bit of football.
Yeah.
We won't touch on this at the moment how it's going, but hopefully it'll pick up.
I'm sure it will. Listen, what we like to do with these, Dave, we like to take you back to where it all started for you when as a youngster. So what are your memories of following football and particularly watching Walsall sort of back in the day?
Well, I got quite a few of my cousins that were big Saddlers fans. My dad was a Saddlers fan, so he took us to Fellas Park quite a few times in the old days. Remember him playing Newcastle once in the cup, if I remember serves me right. Just after I think they'd finished runners up, I think Walsall actually beat them. Malcolm McDonald was in the team, if I remember rightly. But again, I'm getting old now, Adam. I've probably forgot that bit. But they, the Alan Buckleys and the Mick Cairns and the Colin Harrison. So I remember them. Whether I've moved on to a better team, we won't mention that. But now, so Walsall has always been the team that I've looked for on results. And then, obviously, through business, we got involved with yourselves. And I watch more live football with Walsall now than any other team. So that's how things change in your life. So I've gone full circle from Walsall at the start back to
present day.
So, yeah.
And I guess you mentioned sort of some of the heroes of those days, Mick Cairns being one. You'll see Mick in the lounges.
Yes,
so
Mick
what does that feel like when you were obviously watching Mick play as a young boy, and then you get to meet him, great guy, get to meet him in person now? That sort of
obviously being a young lad and not very tall now, he still looks huge to me. But now it's I had the pleasure of having a beer the other day with Mark Rees, and I know Jimmy Walker well through other things. So meeting people who used to watch playing, Fellas Park in the days with Mick Cairns, and I touched on you with one of the best goal scorers I've seen in lower division was Alan Buckley, and then he managed the side. So I always remember Alan Buckley banging a lot of goals in. And I hadn't heard from him for a while, but I take it he's still alive and kicking and still going. And last I heard, was he still around Grimsby still these days? So now, it's nice to meet them round about when we're doing the corporates, the old players.
Yeah.
And I think it's good talking to yourselves about doing tributes to the old. I think all clubs should do that. It's the clubs have got here by the people in the past, whether it's the players, the manager, or the staff, and to be remembered in a certain way, whether it's a Hall of Fame or a stand or even a room. I think it's a nice touch, especially what Walsall are doing these days, rather than being called a suite named after somebody they don't know. Ex-players, it always touches with the fans that have been here for years, and I've got a lot of friends and as I say, relatives who are glad Walsall are going that way. Remembering the past, but hopefully bringing the future in, which is the kids. And I know you've got a very good foundation going on. So, and it's nice to see the kids in the stands building up your your future support, because we're all getting on now, Adam. We won't be here.
Who is that? You or me, mate? It's good for yourself. Yeah. It's a good point you make actually about the former players, and as you know, and a lot of the supporters will be aware about the Former Players Association, which we set up last summertime. So it's the first year, and you said yourself, we echo that as a club, that without the players that have gone before us, we don't have the club that sits here today, and that's really important to embrace, the success and the people that have proudly represented the club in the past. Really, really important, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, as I say, I know Jimmy Walker quite well through other people that have been on a few goals, and he is Walsall through and through. I know he's got a lot going on with West Ham and all that, but people like that who've got a lot to give back as well into football, whether it is through coaching or just presenting the club or just doing a speech or You know, coming and sitting at a corporate table, I think it's holds a lot of weight to the experience of the day. That's what we find anyway.
And you always have a great day in hospitality, Dave.
Oh yeah, well, we try to.
It's a great day, a great drink, or
Right,
both.
well, yeah.
But
Bit of
both
both.
hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, coming on to that, so talking about your company, B.A.T, tell us a bit about what you're about, what you do.
Yeah, well, we got 4 segments to the a group as a whole. We got Brownells, Asphalt and Tarmac, which do, as it says in the title, a lot of tarmac work, civil work, drainage work, bigger projects, local work for all the schools. A couple of good FM contracts that we do with people. B.A.T Fabrications, who do all the steel work, gates, fencing, anything to do with steel, mainly. Leading on to that, the B.A.T powder coating, which obviously paints all our work. And then we've got another company, B.A.T Products, which is mainly looking at, there's fire safety within the EV industry, or lithium batteries, and which is just a new company we've started, which will help all the other 3 companies as well and provide work for them. So we've got quite a scale. We like to call ourselves a one-stop shop at our level of work, of anything outside where we can do drainage, slabbing, tarmacking, put the fence up. It's all seamless, and that's what customers like, that they can give one order out to one company who can look after, mainly out external work. We have done the odd internal work for people that want our service, but it is mainly external gear that we do. Hence why I'm glad the snow's disappeared.
Absolutely. Back to work.
Back to work.
Back to work.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And as the partnership has developed over time, probably over the last 4 or 5 years, you started off by, I think you had a board in the ground initially, and then we built and grew the relationship, and then we'll come on to a couple of projects that you've done for the club itself shortly. But just looking at the Nofo suite now, I think the away stand, sponsored by B.A.T, looks fantastic. A massive uplift on what we've seen over previous years, and you developed that over the last sort of 12 months as well. The branding's fantastic. You see the step rises; it's all really uniformed. I think you might have been the first, if not one of the first sponsors to incorporate Walsall's logo and branding and colours into your.
Yeah, well, luckily the colours are the same as our colours. But now when we first started doing work around the ground about 2017, 2018. It was only odd little things that I think it was when Jim was here, who was the health and safety officer, main health and safety. So we got issues with a bit of fencing, wanted repairing, or handrails, which then expanded to. You had issues of people getting on the pitch, and we designed the rail on the top of the wall just so they couldn't get on the pitch. Save the club money when you score late or they score late and invade the pitch. But then as we've grown and your club have learnt what we can do and what you want we do, we've always been here to say we can do this for you or look at the job. And when the Nofo suite, obviously, you approached us to have a look, see what we could do. As I say, we don't do many internal work, but a lot of it was a steel work outside for the balcony, so there wasn't a lot. The major work is actually, without knowing, he's outside, else you couldn't go on the balcony. But it was just nice to be involved with that from start to finish with Nofo, with their initial idea and trying to get how they brand things, and then you guys put a lot of effort into what you wanted it to look like, and our team have done a bit of research about it. There's probably only 2 or 3 have actually got this kind of facility in the lower leagues. There's a lot of Premiership sides who've got all around the ground, but had to have something in the corner, and that looks, and a lot of people comment on the fact. But it's not just us. I know we built it for you, but you guys designed and said how you wanted it to look, and I think it's a credit to you, to be honest, from where it was, and it looks. I know a few of the fans have said why blue walls, but we didn't get to pick the colours. Adam did.
Sponsors branding day.
Yes, but now it just looks neat and tidy, and it's an asset to yourselves, I would have thought, outside the football.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, I think it's a project we're jointly both really proud of as a football club and yourselves as a business. It's sold out for the season, so I think that says it all. Really, it's a really popular space, a great space, as you said, and I wouldn't have been surprised if there's no clubs in the lower divisions that have the facility like this. It's fantastic, and being right next to the North Star stand, the main home end, if you like, where the atmosphere, the main atmosphere is. You're out on the balcony. It's a great experience out there, isn't it?
Yeah. And and long may, as you expand or get a bit better, you've done this area, maybe you can look at. But it's all down to cost again, isn't it? But if you can recoup the money from this and you prove it works, and I don't think any of the fans who don't use it look at it as an eyesore, because a lot of people don't see it unless they look for it, or we show them that it's there. That's how well it's blended in with the stadium from what it was before. For years and years when we've come, we've always thought it was a bit of a waste of space in the corner, but you've converted into something that's an asset to the club.
Still have to bring that project to life, don't we? And and I think supporters will see this, of course. The other project that you've worked on with us is the scoreboard, and again, I think we're guilty ourselves as supporters sometimes. All we really ever see or sort of concentrate on most of the time is performance on the pitch, which is what it's all about, because we football and we love our football team and our club. But it is really important that the clubs do still invest in the facilities as well, and the supporter experience and the match day experience. And the scoreboard being another example of a project that you've worked with us on quite recently. Yeah,
I think especially in lower level football, if you're not going to have, we'd all love owners that are going to throw millions and millions of pounds at you. I don't mean that you're going to be any better on the pitch, but if you've got the infrastructure right around, it's same as any business. If the infrastructure is right, what we call it a concrete base, and you build off a good concrete base, it's not going to collapse. But if the concrete base is not there to start off with, that's where you find where clubs are starting to fail, because they may spend a lot of money getting the people what they think is right on the pitch, and then they're not getting the supporters in because the corporate's not right, or they're not getting the right backers as sponsors. And then if the crowds are not coming through, which is generating the money, and I know Walsall's average gate is probably, what is it now, 6,500. That's probably increased quite a considerable amount in the years we've been coming. I think 2019, probably supporters will knock me down, but I think it was only about the 4,500, 5,000, probably around that.
We'd be happy around about that time, I think, in all honesty, if we were getting crowds of 5,000.
Yeah.
It was a good gate then.
And that's only probably, again, that the experience, if the football improves, you get more through the gates, but not just the normal, the fans who stand on the terraces are the main people. Because without them, you haven't got a football club. But behind that, your corporate guys and your sponsorship guys, and the people who work really hard in your corporates, because we always have a good day. And the reason that we like the club and we come to the club regularly and we carried on our sponsorship is that we're not a number, we're a name. Everybody I bring, your guys remember, whether it's customers or my staff, as they come through the door, they remember the name. And that's a different feeling than going to some of the sponsorships when you go to, when you just, you're part of this party. You always seem to make people welcome. It'd be nice to get it on the pitch now and go up, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it just? And I always say, what a celebration we would have, between us. We talk about, we spoke about, sponsors and being together and everything, but also, sponsors yourselves, you built relationships with some of our other partners as well, which and ultimately you're now doing business together, which I think is brilliant, because you come and have a great day. Hopefully, the day we put on for everyone is great, as you say. But also, you've managed to, through introductions, to meet other business owners, and subsequently you've done business together.
To be honest, as a business model, a few years ago, B.A.T didn't do a lot of marketing. You got yellow pages in the old days, and hopefully somebody opened the book and picked your name out. And it's only recently, and it may be through the development with the club that you realise that sitting next to a table and you start chatting to these guys that yes, we do. We have got a quite nice base of people now from here that we do work with, or they do work for us, and it is nice because again it becomes personal, and you know the people that you're dealing with. You know, the energy company that save us a lot of money with that, which is great. You know, we deal a lot with Bailey and Mackie, and there's other things that are going on behind the scenes that we hope comes off. But at the end of the day, we're all here for a good day on a Saturday and a few beers and watch Walsall win. The few beers and the good days are happening. Now we need more.
Third beers is always a good day.
Yeah, it's always a good day. Always good. Yeah. And it's always nice to see the people, you know, that stand and serve you, who are part of the club that a lot of supporters wouldn't see, that put a lot of effort into our experience in the day and make it flow. And everybody, we bring quite a few customers, and it's nice to have on a Monday morning they ring up and go, great day, when can I come to the next one? I haven't had any yet say, don't take me there again. Not yet anyway.
Never. I think it's great to hear you talk, because we didn't allude to it at the beginning. Well, you kind of alluded, but you didn't say, but actually you're a Villa fan, so I think it's lovely to hear you talk so fondly about Walsall and your experience, you know, on match days, and how much you enjoy coming and feeling part of something and feeling part of our family, as opposed to, as you said yourself, just a number, you know, arguably it, you know, the larger clubs, if you like, because... Yeah,
well, I mean, I suppose it's, you know, I'm not saying that we couldn't go and do a deal with Villa and down there, but a lot of the guys in our team are Walsall based, Walsall born and bred, and have got a bit of an affinity for Walsall because the lower league and where they are. If I want to start traipsing them across to Villa Park, there'll be a few mounds, especially off the Wolves fans and the Liverpool fans and all this. But no, and I've been quite a few places around Europe watching the Villa at home and away for many years. But as you're getting older and family and you have businesses you got to run, and you kick off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Yes. that's the other nice. But even as I was growing up and didn't follow Walsall, I think a lot of people I speak to, who's your second team, everybody will say, if they're not a Walsall fan, the second team they look for on the results sheet is how Walsall have gone on. But it's nice to be involved within a club, especially when it's a local club. And we're all local lads, you know, all from Walsall. You know, Barry, who's our MD, he was born and bred in Walsall, so he's got, and he's been followed Wolves for years. But again, we all pulled to here one, especially at 3 o'clock as I say on Saturday.
It's a few and far between now at the high levels for sure. Yeah. Dave, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you so much.
No problem at all.
Great to have you. Can't thank you enough for your support, because, you know, without you guys like yourself supporting us, we can't achieve what we want to achieve, and it's all part of this journey that we're on together, and we're having a great time. I'd like to think, whether we win, lose or draw on a Saturday, it's great to see that you have a good day regardless.
Well, maybe we do this in May when they've got promoted.
I think so. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.